right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Hel Talk. As always, we are sponsored by Cliff Nut Butter Bars. If you haven't had one, it's because you've never won a HeroClix event. Today, we have the winner of the smallest Champion Clicks Open event, probably of all time. Wow. Even though they haven't been going on for that long, I will put that out there that this is the one that we just put on was probably going to be the smallest ever. Um, but regardless, we have the winner here with us, Miguel. Uh, Miguel, how is it going?
It's going pretty good. They can't complain. I mean, the weather kind of sucks, but they can't complain.
Yeah. So for those that are that participated in a much more populated Champion Clicks Open event, the one that we put on was during the same day that approximately, depending on where you were, but around the area, between 8 to 12 inches of snow fell on that day. So plenty of people decided to stay home, which I don't blame them. But for the 8 people that were crazy enough to make it out, um, well, they all got good prizes. Let's put it that way. Everybody, we prized it out to top 16, so everybody automatically made top 16, and everybody automatically made top 8. So we had plenty of prizes for everybody that did show up. I don't know. Obviously, you did win, Miguel. But what do you have to say overall about the prizes that you got for the event?
Going into it, right? I know I got there early, right? With you or whatever. I was very surprised that you gave out the prizes that you did. Because I'm expecting, right? I'm like, well, if I win first place, or if I make whatever top 4, I'm getting one LE that I get to choose. But the fact that you gave out the I think it was the 4 LEs, right? I think that's what it was. Well, at least the 3 main big ones, right? Was the Spacesuits Batman and the Infinite and then Superior Spider-Man. So I thought the pricing was beyond amazing. No complaints there, and I'm sure everybody that was there didn't have any complaints. I think they were pretty content for what they paid for.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that, like I said, the fact that if you just paid an entry fee, you automatically made top 8, which that in and of itself, was way. I think for the $20 entry fee, I think the top 8 prizes were, I don't know. I forgot what was in that, was what I put in the bags, but I know it was 2 deity Thors, an abracadabra, a couple Joker goons, I think, and I think that was it, right? So I mean, just that for $20 already in itself is worth it.
No, I agree. I mean, I think everybody walked out pretty happy. I don't think well, at least I don't think anybody was upset. I mean, the pricing was pretty good, so I think everybody was content.
Yeah. Obviously, it was a different event than usual in the sense that everybody who did show up, since they kind of automatically made top cut twice, instead of just jumping into single elimination rounds, we ran 2 rounds of Swiss, which just determined seeding for
Yeah, you're sounding a
these
little bit
single
like a
elimination
robot.
rounds.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
You can jump off, jump.
Well, this is like awkward.
All right, is that better?
No, it still sounds a little bit the same.
Oh crud!
It's the
Well, it's
McDonald's
not.
Wi-Fi.
Is it? I don't know how it sounds to you.
It just sounds like static. That's all it is. It's just static.
Oh, static. Yeah, static is fine. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there are times where it'll my voice will kind of like break up and it'll sound like I'm talking super fast and then not talking for several seconds. And anyway, but uh, but yeah, there was 2 rounds of Swiss just to determine seeding for top cut. So the first 2 rounds were effectively, it didn't matter whether you won or lost. It just, because it just determined where you were put in the single elimination bracket. So that way everybody was able to play at least 3 games on the day. But beyond that, um, let's get into the matchups that you had, Miguel, because a couple of them were matchups that you had more than once. Which makes sense because there's only 8 people that showed up. But um, first round you played against Mark, and he was running a Kooky Quartet team with Tom and Jerry. So run us through that matchup.
So he went first, and so I went to the bunker because that's the map that I had the most practice on with the team, and he picked the highest elevation. So not like the yeah, he picked the highest elevation. So I was all the way at the bottom, and it was where he didn't think I could get him, but I think he forgot that Betelgeuse just goes through goes through blocking. But then I think he also forgot that I had the one shots on the side, which was the Heimdall's Insight and Fortified. But so Heimdall's Insight on my second turn, he moved up a little bit to reposition, and so on my second turn, I flipped the Heimdall's Insight, and or whatever, I think it's Heimdall's Insight, whatever it's called. But I move up Betelgeuse, go through the blocking, and then both of my Cap Peg take out his Captain America, and I first took out the Scarlet Witch because of the fact that she gave everybody mystics. So that was my first target, and then I went after the Captain America because he has a higher attack. So he was the only one that could potentially, hit me. Once I did that, I grouped up. I had the Hal Jordan, right next to everybody. So everybody had a 19 defend plus the 1 modifier. So they had a 20 defense, and the Captain Americas were in position for, in case they shot me, then I'm at 22 defense out of range. But it pretty much crumbled down from there because none of his guys could hit me because I had a 20 defense. So he had to roll 9 or better. I think his highest attack was a 9. And so it was just rolling at that point. Do I hit the 9 or better? If not, then it is what it is. But it helped out for me too. It was like it was a practice trying to get the feel of the team because I didn't practice this team at all. So it helped out getting a feel for it as far as placements and whatnot. But that's basically what had happened. It's kind of went downhill from here because he couldn't roll 9 or better. So my turn went pretty quick, and then so his turn, same thing, can't roll 9s or better. And then I just kind of picked off these people. The Empower helps out a lot because then you have, I think you effectively have like a 6 damage with an Empower with a Cap Peg, so 6 damage with no reduce, with no defense powers. I mean, you're pretty much dead. I don't know how else to explain it. But I did forget a couple things. I did forget like the reverse flash trigger, and I think that's, I don't know. I never brought them out that way, but I always forget that. I forgot longsword gives you close combat expert, so I'm thinking like, well, I need to hit the 7, which I needed a 6. But that's pretty much how my first game went. It was just you couldn't roll 9 or better, and I just picked off after I repositioned my second turn or whatever.
And then just real quick, I know you kind of mentioned some pieces of it already, or probably all of them, but uh, go over the team that you decided to use.
So it was a mixture of, I think it was like your team and then Scott's team. They played a red, white, and clicks. So I went to the dark side, played Betelgeuse, and I gave him Avatar of Animal Man. I played Hal Jordan, Blue Lantern, Hal Jordan, and gave him Destroyer armor. And then I played two Captain America's Pegasus Cap, one with Longsword, and one with Mjolnir, Predagon, and Copycat.
I'm just thinking of, and then you had what was on your sideline?
It was Fortify, Heimdall's Sight, not Insight. I don't know why I said Insight, but it's Heimdall's Sight, Animal Man, Ares, Mimic, and Reverse Flash.
Gotcha. I'm just thinking, yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, so the first round seemed to go pretty well for you. Second round was against Logan, who, the youngest Adepticon champion of all time. And I think he got more points against you than maybe anybody on the day. Um, but again, you did face him again in the finals. But if you can remember the first time you faced him, run us through that matchup.
I think, so he went first, and I decided to take him to the bunker, and he actually gave me. He chose the side that I actually prefer people to choose, which was the open. Well, I forget what side you would call it, but it's like the not the elevation, but the one where it's the one we practice on, right? So like people tend to choose the open side. I want to say if you're looking at the map, I would say the right side. So then
Yeah,
then
it's open in the sense, but it's not the side that's all on elevation one. It's the more open side that's
yeah, that's the one he
yeah,
chose, and
to the right of that. Yeah.
so I was content with that. So it puts me in the side that I wanted to be on, and it was funny because um I have practiced enough. It's basically the same thing as my Trigon setup that I played at Red, White, and Clicks. So I set up the pieces the same way. But I think what happened there was I did the same setup as I explained to you before. It was keep protected on one of my pieces, which I didn't care. I don't think it made a difference, but I think if he had to protect, I think it would have been the copycat. I think copycat would have been the one, but he chose. I want to say he chose Blue Lantern, Hal Jordan, but like I said, it didn't make a difference. So he moves up a little bit, um, which he's gonna have to because otherwise he can't really charge flurry, which that's what he wants because he got the 14 attack. So his first turn he moves up a little bit, he sets up, and then so my following turn I do my setup, which was get into that little room where I think it's elevation. I want to say it's 2 going to 3, and so I have my setup right there. So now the only way he could possibly get me is going through that blocking. But again, he has to hit it's a 20 defense, which Juggernaut can't necessarily. I mean, Juggernaut could reach, but he doesn't. He doesn't have a follow up with that. So once I set up in that little room, it went back to this turn. So he passed. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to pass too because I'd rather have all my action tokens off. So now he's like, okay, now he's got to think, well, what do I do? So I think, if I remember correctly, I think he passed again. So then I'm like, well, this is the one where I make it or break it. I got to take the shot because uh, there won't be another opportunity for this. So I did the same setup like I did before. Was I moved out, destroyed the blocking. So now I have my guys could go in there. So now I have to count squares and position my people. So then after all the follow up and all that, I'm still within a 20 defense, 20 defense up close, and then 22 defense out of range. So the first cat peg, after doing all the setup, goes out for the attack. He gets shape changed with Abomination. So that went out the door. I believe the second one, I think he got shape changed again. So none of my guys, I don't think none of my guys hit. So now, in that turn, so Logan he ran Juggernaut, which I don't know why he did it, but it made sense after I saw it. So he moved after I missed, and it went back to his turn. He moved Juggernaut all over the place, destroying the blocking, which then clears for line of fire for per Degaton to TK the Prime Abomination. So he does that, and he KOs both my cat pegs right off the back. So then I'm thinking, like, well, damn, I think I just lose this one. Like, that's what I'm thinking the whole time. I'm like, man, I think I just lose. So we played it out, and I was very surprised to see that that even after that, I'm still hitting. After he KO'd both cat pegs, I'm like, I was at a standstill. I'm like, well, I don't know what the hell to do. I was like, oh, well, I never had this situation happen. So, we just played hero clicks. I just kept attacking. I think I took out the Abomination first because I think that was the bigger target. I crippled the Juggernaut, so Juggernaut can't hit me at all. So then went back and forth. He kept missing because now he has a lower attack, so now he has to roll 9s, and that's kind of an uphill battle at that point. And it got to the point where I KO'd the Prime Abomination because the enhancement per Degaton with enhancement with a copycat just seems 4 damage is very strong. I think I KO'd that. Now he had Juggernaut, Chair Panther, per Degaton, his copycat, and from that aspect, it was like it rolled downhill. And he also had Ace. I forgot about Ace, but Ace heading a 12 couldn't hit need 8 or better for the mind control, which never happened. He kept rolling 7s or 6s, and if he did hit that, I would prob. So and vice versa, but that kind of went downhill from there. I think he lost Prime Abomination. Juggernaut can't do anything because I think he had an 11 attack or whatever, but. It was I was very surprised to see that team operates even without the even with 2 cat Pegasus being KO'd. But it was a good game. Well, and I looked at it as it was an okay game. Well, a good game. I mean, I think it was a back and forth. He did do. I mean, there's not much. You got to roll 8s and 9s, so I get that.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I was just looking at this and I'm like, yeah, it's because you got 95 points against you, which compared to most other games is a lot more than what most people have scored against you. The next round was the first round of elimination where you faced Mark again because of how the seeding went. He scored the first time he faced you, he scored only 5 points. The second time he faced you, he scored 15 points. So it's an improvement, but did anything happen in that game that was significantly different from the first time you guys faced, or was it roughly the same?
It was roughly the same. Like he has no perplex. He has to roll 9 or better again, and it was kind of the same thing. I mean, the only difference was like I used a 1 shot from the first game, and this second game playing against him, I KO'd my copycat because I forgot that I forgot about Scarlet Witch giving and everybody. So I purposely forgot and I KO'd my own copycat, and so that's how I got 15 points by mistake. But it was the same thing.
Gotcha. moving into then there would have been the top 4 matchups. He went against Andrew, who was playing a legacy juggernaut team. He only managed to score 5 points against you, but anything happened in that matchup that stood out to you?
So the only so the one thing I will say, Legacy Juggernaut's pretty good. I will say that he is very underrated for what it is. The other thing I noticed in that game, the whole game, which I'm kind of glad he didn't really realize it, but I'm sure after the event was over, I'm sure he might have realized it. He never with Prime Cable, he never chose a power with Universal Weapon. At any point in time, he did not choose a power with Prime Cable, and that was my immediate target because I was like, well, I don't really care about that Juggernaut too much. It's just the Prime Cable because that Pulse Wave with the Force Blast. I mean, granted, it's not gonna do much to Cap Peg, but it's just the Pulse Wave. Does a lot of damage, but that was my immediate target. But I think overall, I think Andrew unfortunately had some unfortunate roles, and yeah, I think that was the thing that stood out the most was the Prime Cable. He didn't use anything. He never picked the power with Universal Weapon.
If he had picked a power, and let's say he picked, whatever the best power would have been, for the turns that he did pick, do you see that? How differently do you see that game going?
I think it would have been a little bit in his favor, in the sense that if he right off the bat knew why I put Prodegaton in the corner, then he knows that was going to be my immediate target, and I think he would have on his turn moved him as much as possible and put him in a position where he could pulsate my team in the following turn. But um, I wasn't as scared as I was scared of that piece. I think that piece is just very strong, but he never chose anything with Universal Weapon. And I'm sure he probably realized that after the event.
Yeah, because I'm looking at his team now, and yeah, and he does have Obsissa on his team as well. Um, so yeah, he would have definitely, uh, been able to do something at least for one turn. There was I don't think there's a way that you could have prevented him from, uh, getting a pulse wave attack in some way, similar to how you mentioned in the first game against Logan, how he ran through all of the blocking terrain with Juggernaut and then TK'd up Abomination. Uh, I think that Andrew's team could have done this similar thing. He could have ran through blocking with Juggernaut and then TK'd up a Cable with Prodegaton in order to potentially pulse wave. But that brings us to the last matchup of the day, which again was a rematch. So apologies for having for playing 5 games, but only effectively playing 3 different players. But it was a rematch against Logan. This game ended pretty quickly, but did you notice any differences going against Logan the second time versus the first? Ooh, Miguel's on mute. What's going on, Miguel?
Oh, not bad. I don't know why I went into mute. So one thing, yeah, I don't know why I went to mute. That's kind of weird. But so one thing I realized playing against Logan, and I realized that afterwards, after we were talking about it, I moved up too close or moved up too far, where he could have KO'd the Betelgeuse in that one turn. And after realizing it too with the Juggernaut, he had the elevation, and he could have put the elevation under the Blue Lantern Hal Jordan and what's it didn't matter who it was the other piece. It's just getting the defend out of the way. That was the big factor. And after he did that, after if he would have done that, then I think Beetlejuice would have been dead, and I think he would have won that game because he was hitting for 6 damage. So then, the reason why it would have made a difference because now I don't have a mastermind target. That's why it made a big difference. So in that game, I mastermind to Perdegaton because I was like, I think this is the time I mastermind the first attack, and I don't care if I take the second attack. But I think if you would have did it that way, is if he runs out, puts the elevation under the Blue Lantern, Hal Jordan, and Perdegaton, Prime Abomination will flurry, KO the Beetlejuice. Assuming I don't get the Super Sense roll because that would have been the click that I'm on for the second time. Then I think Logan would have won that game.
Yeah, and we talked about it like you mentioned. There was even in itself there was a world where Beetlejuice got KO. He did go first, so
You
he didn't
sound like
have
a
the
robot.
Oh, Joey.
Yeah,
Hold on,
sorry.
let me try again.
Yeah, man, sounds like a robot.
All right, but I think there was definitely a possibility where he could KO Beetlejuice in one turn, even if it wasn't on his first turn. Definitely on his second turn, he had that opportunity. If he, uh, in my opinion, if he didn't approach and base one of your people with Juggernaut on his turn 1, then on his turn 2 he could have moved Juggernaut, where he would want, and then placed the elevation terrain just underneath Beetlejuice, and then with attacks from Juggernaut and from Abomination.
Yeah,
because the first attack that he did make on you, you did fail. The first attack he used with Juggernaut on Beetlejuice, you did fail shape change. So if you didn't have the defend, he would have hit the attack. And then again, assuming you have the elevation on you, same thing. It's like, all right, then you can't mastermind it either. And then a single, as we talked about before, if he moved Copycat up, Copycat would have Empower because all the cat pegs have Empower, and then so Juggernaut's hitting for 5, and then the Abomination would be hitting for 7, and that would be enough to KO Beetlejuice. So it definitely could have gone another way. Of course, if he doesn't move up Juggernaut on that first turn, I just think when I was watching that game, I was like, oh, that's probably not good because now Juggernaut is based with opposing characters and he's going to be locked in combat. And he wants to use the TK with Abomination.
Yeah.
So
I will say this though, he had good on that second game to the point where he did move up closer than normal because he realized from the first game that I think he realized that if he sits back and I'm gonna get him the first hit. And I think that's what he realizes. I have to move as much as possible, but not too close. But just so then when my following turn or his following turn, he could hit me really, have a really good follow up turn basically. And I think that's what I think he realized that. So I think that was pretty good on his part.
So other than the teams that you did face, did you think that there was other meta teams that were brought out on the day?
Oh, there was I think two Prime Rogues. I think there were two Prime Rogue teams, which I didn't get to play against. Uh, I don't know about what is it, the Galactus team. I don't think I was I don't think I was nervous against that team. I think I would have been fine, but I think it would have been I think it would have been against Rob's and Brick's team. I think the Prime Rogue might have been a little bit nerve wracking, but
Yeah, especially where I think Rob's team was designed to also bring in Beetlejuice. So I think that would have made a bigger impact if he's also playing and building a team, designed to not have free actions.
no, I
But
agree.
but you bring up a good point. I mean, you managed to avoid playing against both of the players who did bring a prime rogue. Um, and I mean, and you did kind of hint at this already, but I mean, you know, looking at the prime rogue teams, um, how do you think your team would have matched up against them? I mean, I'm not. This is not to say that necessarily your team just would have won or lost, but um, do you think that you would have had a good game plan going into either of those matchups?
So I think it's the same situation. If they don't have an elevation terrain, then I think I'm okay. But it's the same thing where, um, but I think they both had elevation terrain. I think it's whoever hits, man. And it's like if you position well enough to put the elevation, go for the initial target, which I think most of them would be going for Beetlejuice. If you have the opportunity to do it, I think they take the shot for it. But other than that, I don't know. It's up in the air because that yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how that would have went. I think I would have lost it, to be honest with you. I think I would have lost against the Prime Rogue, but
So, but knowing that, are you would you be comfortable bringing a Beetlejuice team, a similar Beetlejuice team into future events, or do you think you're
no,
going to
I would.
change it up?
I mean, if it gets you like, I mean, you don't want to be that guy, but I mean, if it gets you the top cut, I guess why wouldn't you play that team, right? And so it's a budget to a point. It's a budget team. I mean, it's granted. I think the most expensive thing on that team is like the cap peg. I think so. I don't see any. I think anybody could play that team. It's not that expensive to play. Well, besides the Animal Man, and yeah, it's not that expensive.
So with the ROC States events, excluding the Strange Tales set, which means that the only new stuff that's really coming out that can be used in those events are mainly like the Sentinel Strike stuff. Um, I doubt that there's going to be any new iconics that are going to be legal, but we'll see. I think the flashes just came out, I believe.
Yeah, they
So
just came out. I'm excited for those. I think that 20 defend kind of is pretty good. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah, I mean that's what Blue Lantern Hal Jordan does. His basically his 20 defend.
Yeah, for less points, to be honest with you, less points.
But is there anything in those in the Sentinel Strike stuff that you would swap in to your team, or is the team that you have pretty much as good as it can get? Like, is there anything that's worth replacing?
So that's like the biggest question because it's. I'll be honest, I'm not even 100% sure because there is it's like unfortunately, you need both cat pegs to deal with the problems, like the problem figures. I don't know what else you would take out for those, and they help out with the Perdegaton because being a 1x2, the copycats is good in general for an extra prob and power or whatever. Um, and Perdegaton having the prob and the enhancement, I think that also plays a huge factor too, because now the cat peg when you flip over the Heimdall sight, it's hitting you for an 11 for 5 at a range. But I don't know. I mean, that's something I would have to tinker with, but it's a good team. As far as the new stuff that's coming out, I'd have to see. But as it stands right now, the team's fine as it is. I don't know what else I could make it better. Like capping something else. Like more.
And I know I'm not going to be participating in any of the states events that are running Silver Age events because I don't have Silver Age stuff really in my collection. I don't have Silver Age stuff worth playing in competitive events in my collection. Um, but you've done notably well um, in Silver Age events in the past. So uh, looking ahead towards other, like I said, states events around Silver and just other Silver Age events in general. What are you excited to use or to see being played?
Um, so I think I'm more excited to play. Well, obviously, I'm gonna get Ultra Chase Thanos. I pretty even last time, and then now with the do some little bit of improvements on the team. I might play him actually going forward. I think that's probably the team that I'll play. Because it doesn't require too much work. It's just one figure does everything, and then I take up majority of the time anyway. Assuming I get lucky with the dice rolls and whatnot. But um, as far as teams that I would like to see being played, I mean I would like to see it. Like the Chase Magneto 250 points. That would be pretty. It would be interesting to see how he does. I mean, his global trade, stops a lot of things, or kind of slows down people from playing the game. But it would be interesting to see, like over costly, figures that normally wouldn't be playing 300 modern might have a time to shine in Silver Age.
And yeah, I know you mentioned before the like the Barry Allen and stuff that's coming out in the Flash Iconix. Um, but what are your overall thoughts on those pieces? I don't know if you had a chance to look at all. I mean, technically, it's all four of them.
So I only saw the one with 20 to spend, and I mean that really, I was very impressed with that. I didn't get to see the other ones. I don't know. The other ones get revealed.
Yes, they were all revealed.
Oh crap! Then I didn't see them. I only saw that one, and that was I think yesterday. They might have been revealed today then.
Yeah, well, yeah, they were all revealed at the same time.
Ah crap! Then yeah, because I only saw that. I was at work. Oh, actually, I'm looking at them right now. Um, the the heck? Oh wow, that's okay. It's not bad. Black Flash is interesting because it's sideline active, so that might be just worth picking up in general. Like just because it's sideline active, it might not be on your team, but it's another free sideline thing you could put in, assuming speedsters become relevant or whatever. But yeah, I
That
think
is
that's
true. Let's look at what the speedster keyword offers. Um, I think yeah, I think it's good. I mean, you got Caveman Wally West, you got Reverse Flash, Flash Raptor, Quicksilver from the Kooky Quartet. think you got a lot of good. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I say a lot of good options, but I mean that's options
Well,
that are
yeah, I mean,
already good.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like you would run into it, but I mean, if you don't have like if you have extra sideline space, then why not throw Black Flash in there? You might run into it, but highly unlikely. But I
No,
think it's worth it.
yeah, I think like I said, the people that are running Caveman Wally West and Reverse Flash, that Black Flash is an auto include in my and that's how I see it
Yeah,
because
no, yeah.
yeah,
Welcome,
it's
yeah, you're 100% right because those are the two most common played pieces right now. Um, yeah, 100%. I think it's worth picking up then.
yeah, and it's another effect that you play it with the Bloodstone so that they'll take the unavoidable damage and then they can't heal.
Yeah, even like the team of card for Barry Allen is not bad either. I thought that's pretty dang good. Giving everybody super senses and once per game when the friendly character would be hit, they may evade the attack instead. I think
Yeah, that's a
that's
funny
pretty good.
effect. I don't know how.
I'm not gonna say like it's like busting and competitive because I'm like if you're gonna play this piece, I think you would play him at 90 points. I don't think I mean the 19 defend just seems or 20 defend just seems very very good, but I don't know. I mean it's just yeah. I mean it's a funny set, but I think it's worth picking up just for the Black Flash. I think that's just worth just picking up for that.
Yeah, and I don't know if you would necessarily use him that much, but the Jay Garrick does give other characters the speedster keyword, but they have to be lower points than he is, and already use and can use hypersonic speed on their starting click. So unfortunately, he's kind of a lot of points uh, for that specifically. Um,
Yeah, I think the other unfortunate part is like he's got I don't know, his dials just seems very bland. Like he doesn't like, for example, why would you have flurry on click 6 and 7, and you have pulse wave as well. Like that to me doesn't make sense. But I guess if you're giving it to other, if they could use other powers, I guess that makes sense. But I don't know. I just feel like they're overcosted though.
yeah, and like if you look at Wally, it's like I've mentioned this in other conversations we've had before, but if somebody has telekinesis as just a regular standard power, they can't be more than 50 points. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth playing a character going, oh, that's my TK piece. And it's like, no, Prodegaton is the TK piece. So, um, but I mean, who knows? The fact that he can use sidestep twice might make the TK, decent because he can still effectively move 4 squares, and while TKing something. Um, but it's only one more sidestep than Prodegaton. So
Yeah, I think the
again,
other
it's
the problem that I don't like is like the that people could use the powers of the if in your KO area. So like something has to be KO'd. So now you start using powers. I was like, I don't like that. I think if one of your pieces is already dead, I mean, I think you're already losing that at that point because like, oh, I need this guy to die so this guy could do stuff now. I don't see that being
yeah.
good.
I get it as a like a
As a
casual like comeback mechanic of like, oh hey, yeah, you KO'd my guy, but now the other guys on my team, assuming you're playing the other guys, they get a little bit stronger. It's like ideally you want Jay Garrick to be the first one to die so that he gives the healing, one click for free to all of your other character, to the Wally and Barry. But yeah, it's it is what it is, or You can give double sidestep, or you can give force blast. And it's like,
Yeah,
they're not. Yeah, it's not
it's a
that
funny
great.
gimmick. That's all it is. I
Yeah,
mean, but I think it's still worth just picking up just for the Black Flash. I was
yeah,
like you mentioned,
definitely agree.
I forgot about that. I totally forgot about Reverse Flash and Wally, or even like Flash Raptor. I mean, people aren't playing Flash Raptor, but it's still good just to have on your sideline.
Yeah, no, Flash Raptor with Black Flash is gonna be really good in my opinion because he has precision strike. So, and we're talking about Flash Raptor at 50 points, obviously. So he's got precision strike. If he hits something, he hypersonics up, hits something, they're going to take an additional one unavoidable. And then he can use Quake as free.
I was gonna ask you
And
that. Like, does it actually trigger multiple people? Because it just says
yeah,
when an
it says, yeah, when an
that's
opposing
what I was
character is
gonna ask.
dealt damage. So it'll, if you Quake 4 different people, it's all 4 of those characters are going to take an additional unavoidable damage. So, and because he has precision strike, like they're gonna, if they get hit, they're gonna take the damage. They're gonna take at least one. So, and that's all you need.
Yeah, so then Black Flash is yeah, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
That
Same
is
thing with, reverse flash. He just, flurries when he uses hypersonic, so that'll trigger this twice. Caveman Wally West hits 3 times, so that it can trigger this 3 times. It's it's a lot
you
of
know
extra damage.
which I think is very funny, right? Because like in the event that I mean your opponent has to be very smart, like have to be really really dumb on this, right? But like if you're playing against the like Spirit of Vengeance and like you hit the Spirit of Vengeance, but if they don't have Beholder, right? Or I guess in that team you would probably play Chair Panther, so then you would take the Beholder, but you could effectively win on that turn because if they bring out like Thanos, whatever, then you can win out by mercy basically because you could quake a bunch of people. That's unavoidable damage, I
Yep.
think, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, it wouldn't necessarily work that way because they already they have to be dealt damage in order for this to trigger. So you
Oh
can't
yeah,
deal
but
somebody.
they're on the last click. Yeah, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying. Oh, that would
yeah,
have
you
been
can't
too
hit them.
good. Oh, it would have been too busted. But yeah, I think it's probably definitely worth picking up.
But I think it's again, it's one of those like things where you're like, oh, this is obviously really good because also too, it's like, oh yeah, and then if they're KO'd by the effect, you get a free. Granted he's on his last click, but you get a free Black Flash that isn't scored. You're like, oh, that's great, you know. So I'll just, maybe deal someone 3 penetrating damage. Who knows? Or even if he then gets KO'd, he mystics damage is dealt. Who knows? So it's all still good. Um, but
Yeah,
the
that's I
worrying
like
part,
that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
yeah, it's it's all of this though. It's like it's so good, but then it's all beat by Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? It's like, oh,
Yeah,
like I wanna,
unfortunately.
yeah, I want to use Flurry as free with Reverse Flash instead of like, oh, no, can't do that. All right, well then I want to use the free Quake after hitting with Flash Raptor. Nope, can't do that. Oh well, I want to do the free action with Caveman Wally West. Nope, can't do that. Like, oh, I can't do anything cool. Um, but
I have a feeling Beetlejuice is gonna rotate next year. Like I think that's what they're gonna end up doing. I think.
yeah, but even if I mean, he probably should no matter what because you know, this would be his second Worlds, so he should no matter what. But unfortunately, that also rotates out all of these good speedsters that we just talked about because they all come from the same set. They're all from Masters of
Oh
Time.
yeah, and damn well Batman's not gonna be a speedster.
Yeah, I doubt we're gonna see too many speedsters in the Batman set. But
No.
who knows? Who knows?
Oh man, you ain't lying there. You're not lying.
But this is also true to say that all of this stuff that we're saying works in Silver Age because Beetlejuice is banned in Silver Age. So
Yeah.
there's that.
So you have speedsters. Yeah. So you might see. I wonder what speedsters you have in Silver Age. Probably a lot more. Um, Probably. Well, obviously you're gonna have a lot more, but I mean, I
Yeah,
can't
I
think of
mean
any good.
notable
Oh
ones. And again, I don't know the so don't flame me if these people are actually banned. I mean, I don't know what's banned in Silver Age anymore, but like the Wonder Woman Flash, is that banned in Silver Age? I don't know. Um, but
no,
if
I
not,
think I don't know if it got errated because like it's the
well, it's the
everything's
Highlander rule, right?
so like you. How do you justify having the multiple? Because that's the only way you could play them.
Well, it's not the only way you can play them. You can play one.
Yeah, but having multiple was always the best case scenario. I mean, that was why it was that piece was intended. I'm sure they'll figure something out for that.
Yeah, but again, it's like just that Wonder Woman Flash. He can use charge twice a turn, so that would trigger it. Again, twice a turn. You have the chase Blue Lantern Flash. He uses flurry when he uses phasing. So again, that'll if he hits both times, that'll trigger it twice. But he's only got 10 attacks, so
Yeah, he
probably
ain't
not
that
that
dude
great.
ain't hitting no one, dude. That guy's not hitting
Um,
anybody.
the the
You got
Flash
some.
from Rebirth. I don't know, Deathstroke. I mean, these are not even great pieces. Red Death. I don't know. Now
Yeah,
we're
Speed
getting into
Weasel.
pieces that are not good anymore.
Speed Weasel so bad. Oh my god. Well, I guess
So
Scott Porter, the Pog is not bad. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he is a speedster, I guess, but I don't know.
So again, I think the just the Masters of Time stuff. I think that's what stands out. Obviously, you got a couple other things, but it's not too many. Um, but perhaps a Caps Kooky Quartet team with the Speedsters, because that way it effectively also it would be an Avengers team. So then you would take the best Silver Age Avengers and then the modern age Speedsters. I think that's probably reasonable for
Yeah,
Silver Age
there's a team. Yeah, there's something there. Because I mean,
because let's see, because I mean with Caps Kooky Quartet, you just need it's Captain America, maybe like one other one, or maybe even if and then you have Caveman Wally and Flash Raptor, Reverse
oh,
Flash on the sideline, and
yeah, you probably play Quicksilver because the modified speed too, maybe. But I don't see it
yeah,
like
but he's also a speedster, so I think you might just play him as well. Yeah,
he's not bad. But yeah, I don't know. It's they're not making many good pieces. So I tell you that much. Well, I guess power
yeah,
creep wise.
and it goes back again to of like, does this team beat the things that were winning, at in Silver Age last time that are still going to be legal for Silver Age this time? Because I mean, I don't know, I don't know if it beats the like the like the Black Leopard teams or anything. I don't know if it beats like the Prime Sinestro teams. So but who knows? I don't know, because again, it's one of those things that it's really cool, does a lot of damage, but it has to hit many times a turn, which of course that's what you are always trying to do, but there's a lot of teams that are kind of just made to be only hit one or two times a turn, and then I don't know if necessarily it's good. But like I said, I think there's something there, because you never know. Prime Camo won or silver, so anything can happen.
Yeah, and well, like I said, silver is really. I mean, it's just like it's an open field. I mean, there's so much variety if you could play, and I think people get scared about that because they're like, oh, well, I don't. I think Silver Age, like I said, it's one of those things like where if you don't have a collection, you feel like kind of like defeated. But then it's like if you stick to one good team, or even like you could do a budget team, and it's not that bad. I think like some of the stuff, like for example, like the trouble alerts, you really don't need trouble alerts, but all it is it increases your percentage, and that's it. It's not even like it's not game breaking. Like it might be a situation. Oh, it might increase it by 1%, but I mean that's not. I don't know. I don't think it's game breaking.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what emerges with Silver Age. We'll see if Black Flash manages to get into the meta at all. I definitely think it has potential because Bloodstone is really good.
Yeah, Bloodstone's
Um,
a really good equipment.
what I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a good topic to round this episode off. What event are you most looking forward to in 2026?
I think what I'm looking forward to is the Champion Clicks Open, and then it's oddly enough, at least into Adepticon. I think that's after Champion Clicks. Yeah, it's Adepticon, so that's gonna be a jam-packed week because I'm already planning for that. I think I'm getting it's gonna be 2 hotels, and yeah, I got to get the tickets for that, and then wait until David Newmark makes his announcement for the hotels. I can buy the hotel, but I think that's what I'm looking forward to. But I think I'm gonna try to go as many events as possible. I think I might be going to Silver Age and the 20th in Indiana, and I finally bought a Q Prime. I mean, I'm like I didn't buy it for myself for as far as birthday wise, but so I bought that. I was like, that's my gift to myself. I mean, it was expensive as fuck. I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. I was like, I don't know why this piece is so expensive. Like, no one's really playing it besides, well, a couple teams. But I was like, all right, I guess I'm buying the bullet. So I bought that, and I'm just making changes as I go for the Thanos team. I have to play it out in practice. I think it's gonna be good, man. I think that's what I'm looking forward to. I know I derailed from the question you asked, but I'm looking forward to that. It's Champion Clicks
No,
Open,
no,
and then
you
and
answered it. That was good.
and Adepticon. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm also really looking forward to the Champion Clicks Open. It'll be the first time I've ever been down to Florida, so it'll just be fun all around. Um,
Yeah, that's the
and yeah,
one thing. So I've never been
I'll
to Florida, so I'm looking forward to that. And it's actually my first time, yeah, flying there. So we'll see how that goes. Normally I just drive, but I mean, I figured, I don't want to drive like a 18-hour drive or whatever. I think that's just excessive.
yeah,
So
that's not that wouldn't be fun for anybody.
I think they
The
have Silver Age events. I think last year they had Silver Age. They had like the alphabet soup, and they had like some other, which I think that was what you came up with, and someone took your idea, but that was pretty good. Um, yeah, so I'm looking forward to all that.
Yeah, if they do have because I believe this is their goal. I believe their goal is to have a finalized uh, rule set for the double issue format. So if they do, then are we calling it now? Is it going to be you and me? We're gonna win.
We could try, but like I said, I don't have the technical brain power that you do, so I'd have to repeatedly practice the fucking team, and then to maybe
No, that's the good thing. That's the best thing about it is they said Barnstable was saying he's like, yeah, you're as teammates, like you can just talk to each other during the match and just remind each other of stuff.
oh, so yeah, you're
So
basically just running the show. I'm okay with this. I just Just tell me
No,
what
it's
to
just,
roll.
but that's how it is. Like if you see someone like, hey, you forgot this trigger, you know. So and you know how it is. Like if I was joking about this at Red, White, and Clicks. It's like when you're actually playing Hero Clicks, you make mistakes all the time, right? But when you're watching somebody play Hero Clicks, you see every single mistake they make. So so it's basically like if you're
And you're
watching somebody like
100% right on that. You're 100% right. Because like I would have never watched. Yeah, you're 100% right. Because like you'd be like, oh crap, I would have never done that. But then yeah, you're 100% right. Watching from the sideline, you see the mistakes people make, and you try to learn from that.
yeah, like the first when I in their final game with Logan, yeah, he comes up like I said, he misses with Juggernaut. I was like, bring out Reverse Flash. That's his last action of the turn. Bring out Reverse Flash, and you did. And I was like,
Dude, and I
oh my
forgot.
goodness.
That's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
I never bring this guy out. Like I'm like, oh well, because I assume so they're gonna hit. That's my assumption. But I don't know, man. I always forget this fucking guy, dude. I really do. I don't think I've ever brought him out with his trait. I don't think I've ever brought him out with his trait. Even it's like I forget that all the time.
But also, our sponsor will be glad to hear this. But grand reveal. Did you have a
Yeah,
nut
you're right.
butter bar on the day of winning the Champion Clicks Open event?
Oh, you sound better now because you were like breaking up and shit. But I
Uh-oh.
actually had
But yeah, did you have a Cliff Nut Butter bar on the Saturday when you won?
I actually had two. One before the game. One before the uh the first two games, and then after like the yeah, then right into Top Cut, I had another one.
There you go, folks. Undefeated. I mean, the results speak for themselves. You have a nut butter bar, first place, undefeated.
And
Easy
it's funny
peasy.
because even in the Rumble, I had fucking three. Yeah,
It's like I had three.
I had three.
This
I
guy.
was like, well, I'm starving, dude. I'm gonna eat this. That's what I brought them for. I never heard of these things until like I think it was who brought them was Chef, right?
It was Rick or Chef. I think it was Rick.
Well,
I
whoever
don't
brought
know.
them, bro, like that like I said, I make it a point when I go to Target to buy stuff, like I grab two boxes of that. Whether they sit in the cabinet or whatever, like I make sure I grab two because there's times where I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go on the road, I'm gonna do something. I make sure I grab, I stock up, and even during the week when I go to work, I open a box and just throw them in my lunch box. So yeah, I mean that. I don't know whoever brought that, man. You guys made it a good point because those things are good. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If you never had one, you're missing out.
Couldn't agree more. Gotta love our sponsor, Cliff Nut Butter Bars. They're the only nut butter that you want in your mouth at all times. And but with that, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks, Miguel, for jumping on and talking today. We will catch you guys next time.
Thanks for having.